Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome back to a new video today. Today we're going to be talking about one of the rogue decks from the last tier that will be a tier 1 deck in the new format. And this is my Dinomorphia deck and build. The reason for this being is there's a lot of different cards that will be surfacing in and out of the current meta. And as you know, Dinomorphia will be one of the most powerful decks in the meta currently. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into it. I'll explain why all things like this, all things considered. And I'll go ahead and show you the side, the cards that will be in the side. So, like, if you build the side deck, basically what you're going to be seeing for Dinomorphia is stuff like Deck Devastation Virus. The run that is 3. Super Poly would be 2, not 3. Get that out of here. And then, like, you run Starving Venom in the side. There's a new one. If I can remember its name. Yeah, no, not these. That one right there. TCG exclusive. Yeah, you run this. These are just, you know, this could be for branded, and this could be for basically anything that uses the two monsters with the same type and attribute. Like Drytron would be a great one for this. Kind of hits out the counterplays of the monsters. So, or if you know people start merging archetypes together, you could use this to kind of just, you know, just take it up. Just basically just have it as a body, throw it in defense mode, whatever you want to do with it. It doubles how many damage taken from this card. I don't really know if you're gonna be doing much besides swinging directly with this stupid thing. So, it's not that great, but it is good. You could run like 2 Nibiru in the side. 2 Nibiru would be fine. I wouldn't run 3. You could run Triple Tactics, double copies. I would eventually like to see this hit the main, but for right now, with everything I've got, I just don't have room for it. So, plus I have to let something be negated, which is not something I like to do in this deck to begin with. You know, just have them in the side just in case if something would happen and I would have to use something like that. So nextly, run triple copies of Lightning Storm, and that leaves you room for 1 card. And let's see. I gotta look and see what I'm at right now. Could run a 3rd Nibiru, but I think that would be a wasted slot. I'm trying to think of all the matchups. Can also run Summon Limit too. That would work as well. Trying to think if there's any other good cards that keep you from doing anything. I guess, I mean, this is just because I can't think of anything else. Just run 1 reversion. You know, nothing more than this. Like, for your extra deck, it's going to basically stay the way I've got it. With the 3 Stelpergia, 3 Rexter, and 3 Kentragina, that's probably your best for this format, because you're going to be fusing off a lot in order to keep jumping ahead of your opponent. Of course, you're going to use Psychic and Punisher. That is your #1 win condition. If you get him out, basically nothing is going to affect him at all. And then you have your Zeus in case of shit goes south real fast. And I know Zeus is not hard to make. You know, if they get through Rexstorm and Kentragina, you're going to be able to get into Diplos and Theresia. Use both effects, whatever, and then on the following turn, or on the turn you're on, you could exceed into Chakran, Bobor, and then get straight into Zeus. So it's going to be very good. Plus, it's going to have, 2 cards each to ditch. So it's going to be very nice to have that. So where this specifically hits hard is we do run 3 of both of the fusions. I run 1 Dinomorphia Alert. Dinomorphia Alert, you don't want to see this card like a shit ton, but you would like to see it every now and again. You basically draw into it. I don't really search it. If you noticed, I am playing 2 Sonic. I'm currently like experimenting with 3. I think 2's okay, but if not, 3 will be, where I'm gonna go with it. 3 Fossil Dick, of course. This card is not once per turn. If you get 2 of them in hand, 1 gets negated by Ash, you can then just use another one, and you can grab Misk or 3 of them. If you have 1, I'd go ahead and just grab the other. That way you can make sure you get a play off. And if it don't go off, then just normal summon 3 of you and test your luck. Basically, why we do that is if they do happen to ask the ad, then if you have Theresia and use Theresia's effect, more than likely, if you don't already have the fusion, like Domain or Frenzy, you're going to go ahead and add the Domain or Frenzy, and then they will not be able to ask the next target. And by then, if they go and try, you probably have Solemn Strike or Solemn Judgment set. So, there are plays in this deck specifically made for stopping the meta. And they're in here. This is one of the best decks in the format currently. The format which we are turning to, which is Splice, Tear Laments, Scare Claws, some branded. Elledge is basically falling out of the meta at this point. They're holding on by a thread, but they're gonna lose to this deck because this deck can stop traps as well. And it doesn't really matter because this deck has monsters that cannot be stopped. And they're currently constantly milling life points, which is very, very bad for our opponent. And we do use cards like Rex Turn, which is a dark dinosaur, and Ghost Ogre, which is a light psychic, which means that most things like Goza Match will not apply. And even if they happen to get Goza Match, we do have ways to stop them. That's a big thing with the deck that we have. And the biggest thing about this deck is it's an anti-branded, with the anti-spell fragrance, with the Solemn Judgments, the strikes, the Sonics, the Brute. Brute, basically what it's going to do is it's going to stop Masquerade before Masquerade can really get its effect to kick off. And all these other cards are in this deck to basically stop branded. Now, me being an old branded player, which, I learned branded, I know every combo in the deck, I know what it can and can't do. And I know that Guardian Chimera, if there is no target to pop, it cannot resolve. And if they do fusion into Guardian Chimera, I can activate Solemn Judgment to negate its summon, which is huge. Even if they have branded Lost on the field, and I can still Solemn Judgment because it is negating the summon, not the effect. And not the activation either. It's negating a summon. Summon is different than the activation. So it is the point when it is being summoned on the board, not the point of when the fusion was being activated. Because Lost can only protect the activation, just like Ash, it only hits the effect, not the activation. Just like Judgment here, I'm not hitting the effect, I'm hitting the summon. So that's a big thing that you have to learn with this deck, is when to hit certain things and when not. you know, if somebody activates Branded Fusion and they got nothing on board, I normally let it go because it's not going to do a whole lot. This deck gets power so frequently, it's not even funny. If you open up with none of these, no Fossil Digs, and you have at least one of these traps, you're good. All you gotta do is chill. Chill. You can have every other trap in this deck, and you'll be fine. You just need one of the fusion ones. That's it. Because literally, like Frenzy, it's on your opponent's turn, yeah, whatever. But they're trap cards. They're supposed to be played on your opponent's turn regardless. So, Domain is the only one that can go off on a separate time, like on your turn. Like if you have it set for like 2 turns for whatever reason, and you decide not to use it, you can use it at any time. Because the Dinomorphias are actually really freaking insane. And last format they were not very good because of Branded and Masquerade and that whole deal. But with the new format rolling around, and now that we have sprites, we all know that the 2 main decks that sprites struggled against was 1, Dinomorphia, and 2 was Exorcisters. It suffered really bad to this deck right here. Now you'll notice my side deck is a little expensive compared to the main, but I do say that the main deck of this is going to get really, really expensive because people are going to find out that this deck is actually one of the most broken decks in the format currently. And the reason why it's broken is because of its ability to special summon fusion monsters frequently and very, very fast. Because you could do the Kentrigina combo twice with the 9 and the 6. All you have to do is use Brute to pop one to the other, and it will keep summoning these things. Like, it's kind of insane. Yeah, and the 1 alert will do it too. So it will special summon them. You know, their effects will go off. You know, yada yada, but they can't attack, and you can't special summon anything but Dinomorphias. So it's best to use that effect on your opponent's end phase, so that when your turn rolls back around, you can use them for Xyz, Link, or even, you know, your Psychic and Punisher's grand effect, because literally all you need is emergency teleport and you can get right into him, and he's quite a pain, especially because your opponent will never have more life points than you do, or less life points than you do, because our deck literally just consistently just shreds. Like, it shreds through life points so quickly. And I'm actually probably getting ready to play somebody just to show you exactly like what it can do and how fast. So let's try to play somebody, and I'll show you how this works. Okay? I feel like that's probably the best way for people to learn, is for me just to play and, you know, see what I can do. Just pay close attention to how I'm resolving effects and how I'm responding, because it will really show you a lot about this deck. I'm trying not to make this video too long, but I do want to show you how to play it if you don't already know, or if you know how to play it and you may not know a card or two that you can resolve in these chains accordingly. So I'm going to try and make sure that all of my subscribers, and even people outside of my subscribers, know exactly how to get these plays to work. Because Dinomorphia is one of the best decks out there right now, and it has been slept on for so long. And there at the end, Dinomorphia was actually starting to top events, because specifically of how it played. So we're going to start off by normal summoning Theresia. Let's see. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to grab Frenzy. Grab Frenzy. That there. And you're going to set up your back row. Again, we get the anti-spell, which is great to see. Just remember, in this situation, I'm gonna go ahead and intern here and just let it play out. But the double pill evolution will have to be set before you can activate it. But also, end of main phase. Yeah, let's go ahead and activate domain. No, we're not gonna use that because we can chain it to whatever our opponent tries to do. So the one you want first is Kentragina, unless if your opponent is quickly figuring out what you're doing and how to stop it, because then you'll be able to immediately activate Kentragina's effect. What is that? Phantom Dragon. That's fun. Activate that. That's A-okay. Nope. It's not gonna bother. Oh. Well, okay, that's fine. Well, you're not supposed to do it like that, but we're gonna do it like that anyway. Defense. That's fine. No. Yeah. So here is what I'm talking about. So chain anti-spell fragrance. No. Don't activate another card. See where we're at. Next player turn. Draw. We have Frenzy again. So, view graveyard. We need to know what's in the graveyard at all times. If you're dueling, you should be paying close attention to what your graveyard looks like. No. Pay very, very close attention. Do not hesitate for a moment. There you go. So you hit for, I think it's like 35. And you just play defensively. Really? That ain't gonna matter. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and chain this. And yeah, we should be able to do that using Diplos and the other Kentragina. So we can do that. And then we can immediately activate that effect. Banish Frenzy. Special Summon Rex turn. This is why you need them all in your deck to begin with. Special Summon this dude. Now, the big problem that I ran into is I accidentally summoned this too quickly. If it tries to activate any effect, I'll go Chain Link 2. Yeah, you need to go ahead and activate that because I'm not letting anything go through. There you go. So you can slam into this all you want. I don't think I have any counter traps. I do not. So I'll definitely take damage from that one. Ooh, Dragoblion. Now here's the thing. He's going to take a lot of damage. Are you going to try to swing in battle phase? That's 15, that's fine. Yep. You banish infinite impermanence. Watch this. Diplos. You'll then special summon defense mode. You then activate the effect. And then you can send one trap to the graveyard. And the trap I'm going to send is going to be Let's go Brute. Because it will not matter. The next card is game. The very next card. Because this is a very, very unsafe predicament to be in. You're going to set one card. Let's do Ancients. No. Why in the world? What? My question is, like, what kind of deck is this? See, because you can't activate that because we don't have the actual cards for it. Let's go ahead and activate. No. That drops them all. Let's go ahead and enter battle phase. And we'll swing in Dragoblion for 3,000 points worth of damage. And we'll attack Blue Eyes for game. I'm sorry I decided to do this against a terrible deck. No. Yeah, don't blame me. I'm sorry, but that's not... I'm trying to, like, get a good deck to go against. Like, not some jank Blue Eyes deck. Go first. Anytime you get a choice, go first. Because here we're not exactly terrible, so if anything does happen, we'll be okay. Because we're actually pretty good. The only thing I don't like is I don't have Fossil Dig. But it's doable. And of course, Side-Frame Gamma. It's gonna negate it. That's fantastic. So, we'll see what this is. I don't know what this is. Herpy Feather Duster. Yeah, I believe I can chain alert. It's going to destroy them all. And then I should be able to get my... I need Domain because it has to be set a complete turn. Boy. Tamias. What's he gonna do? Bring out Dragoon? That is A-okay. That was a great card to pull into. Go ahead and activate Domain. Okay. We're going to special summon Kendragina. You need to send a Diplos from deck, not hand, and a Theresia from deck. Unfortunately, this is the only way to pull this off. So now that we are here, you can then activate her effect, and you can get rid of... Actually, you're just going to ditch alert because we're not, like, in any way, shape, or form concerned. Defense, never go in attack mode. You're going to activate Diplos, and then you're going to activate Theresia both simultaneously, and you're going to set Frenzy. And then with that, I actually done these backwards. You're supposed to send Sonic, but we'll send Brute instead. And inflict 500. We will then enter battle phase and swing for 3k directly. And now we will end turn. And we'll activate 2 simultaneously, which would be Anti-Spell Fragrance and Frenzy. Told you, you cannot get through this, no matter what you do. Like, it's very, very hard to bust the deck when it's like that. If he knew I had anti-spell, he definitely would have quit. You know, normal people start to panic when they get down that low, because you know there's a lot of cards that you know are very, very scary when they get down that low. But me, I'm really comfortable when I get down that low because I've done it so many times prior in the past. Flandre's player. Alright, let's have it. Now here's the thing. We're not even scared when it comes to this deck. I'll show you why. Like, it's not that big a deal. I would rather face it going first, but if I have to go second against Flandre's, it's fine. It doesn't really bother me. But I'll show you how to beat it. It's gonna be something kind of new. Yep. And then they got map. They're probably gonna add map if I had to assume. Nope. They had the other one. Which means they already have map in hand. Really? Alright. We'll save that. That was an easy one. If you wonder why I saved these, I'm going to make a giant compilation with all the different wins that I've had over the years. Or the year currently. You know, show them off on like a stream or something. Or just make a video on them with some non-copyrighted music behind them. So we'll find out who wins. Alright, so we start off with a Judgment and a Sonic and Alert. Then let's go ahead and normal summon Theresia. Hopefully we can get her effect off here. No. Yep. And you're going to grab Frenzy. And just in turn. Now people get a little scared and they're like, well, what about Theresia? Is she in danger? No, she's in no danger. Don't worry about her. Because there's plenty of back row to stop things like this. Go ahead and activate Frenzy. Now I'm not chaining that to my Frenzy here. Kentrina. Let's go Diplos and Stilbergia to make Kentrina. We need to cancel all on-field effects. In order to stop stuff like this. So Dark World is one I'm a little unfamiliar with. I haven't seen it enough. So basically what I'm going to do is try to work my way around it. But if anything does go off like that, I do have a lot of security to stop it, so we'll see. Oh, you're going to target. Go ahead and activate that. Not yet. We need to get into Rex turn like immediately. Using you and another Diplos. Use Diplos the most because you do not want that card in hand. Gonna pop it. It's fine. The effect will activate. No. And we'll grab Diplos. Go ahead and slam him down. And then his effect. No. Go ahead and we will send Domain. Flick 500. There you go. Let's keep rolling. Dark World dealings. Yes, we do have a response. And that response is definitely going to be Dinomorphia Sonic. No, I will not respond with that. Negate that and pop Diplos. That's fine with me. Yep. I'm not letting you draw cards. Sorry. I'm not letting you get card advantage. Get out of here with that. A normal summon. How neat. Let's see here. We will say yes. Let's go ahead and activate alert instead. Pretty sure anything that has more, your opponent can activate its effective monster of greater attack than or equal to your life points. Yeah, they can't activate it anyway, so don't worry about that. Let's grab Kendricina. Let's bring her back. No need. Go ahead, do something. All you gotta do is poke through. All you gotta do. Nope. Now. Want to swing again? Go right ahead. Let's activate emergency teleport. What's the matter? Wanna play again? Man, you must be playing with fire to fight this deck. Now, the big thing with this is yes, he's playing with us here. He just gave me Theresia. What an idiot. To discard, I'm going to discard. Let's get rid of Double Pill. I'd rather not see that. See, the thing is he's giving me all the cards that I need, which is not going to help him in turn. Yes, he's playing the new Dark Lord deck. Dark Lord deck is good, but this is, again, one of those decks I was telling you, it's just on a tier above everything else. Like, there's so many negates, interruptions, and it's got an on-field skill drain, which keeps you from getting to what you need to get to. A lot of people main 3 Lightning Storms against this deck for a good reason. Gotta banish a card from my graveyard. That doesn't do anything. It really doesn't matter like what they do at this point, because of just how potent this deck is. And besides a normal summon of Theresia, it's not going to stop anything next turn. They would have to set like a Cosmic Cyclone to even remotely stop this. That's how bad this is going to get here in a minute. Okay. This is the fusion. Quick effect. When your opponent activates a normal spell, or trap card, or monster effect, you can make that effect become your opponent discards one card. I'll use this effect once per turn. That's fine. It's not really going to do anything. So once per turn to activate anything, basically I got to discard. It is what it is. I mean, it's not anything broken. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, what's this, Trickstar? No, this is news reported from the underworld. I don't know why I thought it was a Trickstar card. Not Trickstar, but, is it Ghost Trick? Yeah, it's Ghost Trick. That's the one I thought it was. I played so many decks here recently, like, I get my cards mixed up just by even taking a glance. I said, don't get me wrong, these are some good Dark World cards. Does he do anything? Let's put some on this card. This card. Basically, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It's not like that one, where you get to discard a card to activate an effect once per turn. Which is fine. I don't really have to do anything. He's going to go through this whole entire phase to do basically nothing. Because Dinomorphia is so dominant. You can load your board, you can do whatever you want, but if you cannot stop the traps or the summons, you are fucked. Literally and royally. There is no way to put it with this. If you cannot stop it, it only takes one card, 2 interactions, a trap, and a monster effect, and you're fucked. That's it. That's all it's going to take. Because literally, if I use Rex turn right now, it is going to drop everything to about 1,000. And one will do about like 4,000 on this turn. And then if I get into Psychic and Punisher, which more than likely, if I get Frenzy and I get into Rex turn on like the first or second card, which I do have a Judgment, so it's not really going to bother me a whole lot. Turn 3 of this, they'll be dead. I just got Ferret Flames. The discard card is going to be... Let's get rid of... He's giving me a lot of cards to kind of negate him with. That's going to be a tough choice. But I'm going to go 3-0. The reason I went 3-0 is I already have my cards. I have a monster negate. I have a summon negate. I have a spell trap negate. I have Ferret Flames, which is absolutely fucking broken. And I have infinite permanence now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will enter. Because it looks like I can't do a fucking thing, which is fine. I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with that. Ooh. How nice. The spell or trap card is activated. That is fucking fantastic. Let's see. Special summon? Yep. Let's go ahead and strike that. Nah, I'm not going to chain that. Oops. Well, that sucks. 1 down. Let's see what else we can do here. Yeah, you know, I feel like cutting my life points down. Please activate that. Oh, thank God. Let's go ahead and activate that. Ooh. Let's activate Judgment. Let's get Kendrickina. Feeling a little ballsy today. This is gonna be fun. Oh, guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and quick effect. Let's do that. Not yet. Wait a minute. Let me get him out first. Using Diplos and Delbergia, and then we'll summon this dickhead. You want to go ahead and pop it? Go right ahead. Doesn't bother me a bit. Ah, damn. That sucks. Hope. Let's get Theresia. Defense mode. And then the effect. Not yet. We'll wait. Be patient, be patient, be patient. We're actually going to grab Dinomorphia Sonic. Because I will not have any quick play spells or traps affecting my turn at all. Because here in a minute, I'm about to send every motherfucking card back. I'm trying to get him in battle phase before I do it. Because if I do, I'll win this game by win con. See, this is what I mean by be patient. Do not shotgun your plays. I have this effect. Do not shotgun it. There's nothing on board that is going to stop me. No. It cannot do a fucking thing right now. Nothing. Comes back to hand. You bring that out. Great. Wait. With Rex Term on, they can't activate anything. I don't think he's smart enough to figure that out yet. What is that? I think it's going to try to pop a card, isn't it? Yeah. Veriflines, we're going to send everything back. And then I can go ahead and activate that to drop everything. That way we go ahead and use some effects. And we can get rid of everything. Do I have anything in here, or am I about to lose? I do not. Oh, that's fine. He actually just helped me. Fucking moron. Yeah, put it in attack mode. Like, honestly, I would have lost there if he would have just swung into it. Because I was only dealing with 3,000. But right now, he's like getting a little stupid. Although he wouldn't have killed me, like, he would have got pretty close. Right now, he's just being an idiot. Now, he might pull something off here. I doubt it, though. We'll see. Getting rid of that card was definitely a must. I'm not really extremely worried at this point. Because when these cards are destroyed, their effects are literally going to go off. Even though he is looking pretty enticing loading his field. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. But we'll see. I'm being a little patient, just seeing what's going to go on here. Underworld got us to Close World. Nice. Yes. Banish Ferret Flames. Oh, it didn't negate it? Okay, that's cool. Let's go again. Come on. You beat me once, you gotta beat me a third time. To have bragging rights, you gotta beat me a third time. Not yet. Okay. Quincy. I'm about to say, to have bragging rights, you had to beat me a third time. One turn. I do like your admiration, but you have to beat me a third time. Or technically a second. But you have to win best of 3. In order to get any bragging rights against this tier 1 deck, you have got to beat me 2 out of 3 times. Yes, we'll go ahead and activate this. Now the thing about this is, with Misk in hand, you now can't pop the Dinomorphia cards. So it's going to make this a little bit harder to be able to break through. And if they ever bring Misk up to 2, or even possibly 3, it is going to make it very, very difficult for people to try and get over, because Misk is a very hard card to beat. Supposed to summon next turn. It's always try to do it second. We did draw a lot of Dinomorphias. So we'll be able to get this effect off, which is fine. Yeah, so what we will do is, let's go ahead and activate Misk, because I don't want anything else affecting. We'll wait on that. So he'll banish to 4. That's great. It's not really going to do anything. Now, Dark World, just hold. Because I'm pretty sure they are completely unaffected by effects. National monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Yeah, that's what I thought. So they can do whatever they want, and it's not going to do anything to my board. So that's why Misk at 3 was a little overdone. But if they bring it to like 2 or 3, and like oh, this ain't gonna affect anything. Yeah, because this deck will turn into like a tier 0 deck, and no, I'll wait till battle phase. Nope, I'll wait till battle phase. Because it does not matter what you do, it doesn't matter how many Dark World or dangers you bring out, because we're completely unaffected by effects. So yeah. And I can keep doing stupid shit, it does not matter. If you destroy one of these, it's not going to change the fate in the game. I'll just be able to get into some of my other Dinomorphias. Now, I think he banished the Dinomorphias in the graveyard because he found out like how I was able to keep banishing shit, and it kept working. And every time one got sent to the graveyard, the other one came out. So I think that's what he kind of like found out. Like, hey, if he's got Dinomorphias, gotta get rid of those immediately, so I don't have to deal with them. No. I'm like not even worried. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can bring out whatever you want. I don't care. Because my Rexstorm here has some stupid effects. Like I said, last time I kind of shotgunned it a little bit. I was a little bit too soon on the punch, because I thought the combo was done, and then he started drawing a bunch of cards. No, fam, I'm good. So that's like one of those things to where, you know, I'll just be patient and wait. Like I said, you keep doing whatever you want to do. It's not really gonna matter. I activate one card and it's gonna stop this whole chain. The only thing is if I can pull Ultimate Conductor Tyranner right now, we're gonna end this game pretty damn fast. The only thing is I kind of need, which if I do it that way, I'll probably just go Ultimate Conductor. How? Must have been summoning condition. I'm confused. How it was able to do that? No matter what, it's not game. Yeah. Although it does have a high possibility of being game. This is a well put together Dark World deck though. But this deck is not out for a while, so. And that is just like a random card to have. The reason you can do pop it or negate its effect. 33. I was about to say, I was like, you're not beating over that thing. This card. Diplos, obviously. He quit. Well, he was close. He got real damn close. He lost 2 out of 3 with the new Dark World deck. That's months from being out. So, as you've seen the deck now in action, you've seen me lose with it 1 game, and you saw me win with it like, I think 4 or 5. So you see what I'm talking about now, and all the different things you can do with it, and having a walking on-field Skull Drain just to be summoned off of a trap is pretty overpowered. And this deck obviously does it a lot, but it does end up in situations like it did the last game where I don't really have my negates. I just have a handful of fucking dinos that I can't really do much with, but they still do quite enough to where Underworld Goddess of the Closed World is not going to stop it. And what I need to do is I need to place Rexstorm in a spot to when Underworld Goddess of the Closed World comes on, like put it to like the far right to where it's not going to be able to use that as material. So, with that being said, besides that, the whole thing ran perfectly and crystal clear, and it done a really fantastic job. This is my personal build that I'm going to be using, and I'll do deck profile on it, trust me. I've got it almost every single one of these cards. Actually, I have all these cards except for the anti-spell frigates. Those are the ones I don't have. Now, the reason that you play Infinite Permanence rather than Ash or Effect Regular, Ghost Mourner, Ghost Spell, or any of those, the reason you use Infinite Permanence is we're not really concerned with the effects happening in the graveyard. We're more concerned with the on-field and shutting out zones. If you open up with this on your first hand and you use it on your opponent's turn, it's not really that big. It does help. Keeps them from extending. So like if they go Elemental Hero, Stratos, or Albert, or whatever they're going to go, it does do a lot of work from hand because we can stop plays that way. Besides that, it doesn't really do us a whole lot of good. This deck, if you've noticed, did very well going second as well. This deck, basically, it doesn't have to search. It basically does everything off of the trap effects, which are big because you have to stop the trap's effects in order to be able to proceed in the game. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno didn't pop up once. I almost had Psychic in, but it kind of caught on to what I was doing. And he quit. But as you can see, the deck is very, very good. It is for this tier, and it should have been for last tier, but it ended up in Rogue Tier 2 status. Dinomorphia should have been Tier 1, and the reason for it is it has so many negates. It can just spam life points due to Stelbergia, which means that I don't have to pay for traps. So like Solemn Strike, Judgment, and all those, once you get so low, it doesn't really matter anymore because you're not really losing anything, you're just gaining a whole lot. And of course, one of the biggest cards in this is Brute. The reason Brute is in this is for cards like Royal Decree, not Royal Decree. Fuck, because Sonic's for Royal Decree. Brute is more for like Mystic Mime. Mystic Mime is a good card for why that's there. Goes in match. Any of those floodgates that may show up from time to time, it is there for that. We do run like I think 8 spells in this thing. Yeah, 8 spells, 23 traps, and 9 monsters. But 6 of those traps are very lethal. That's why. So if you add that to your monster ratio, you're sitting at about, I would say, 16, 17 for ability to get monsters on board. And then you add your 3 fossil digs onto that, and that increases your chances to like over half. So with that, you're sitting pretty damn well. You don't have to really spam anything. Your 2 double pill of illusions are all situational. They're supposed to be. There's ways to get this to work. Like, you're not just going to open up your hand and there'll be 2 anti-spell fragrance, 2 Ferret Flames, and an Infinite Impermanence. Like, the deck is too consistent to open up with that. Like, almost every single time I've opened this deck, it is opened with one of the Dinomorphia traps, one of the monsters, Fossil Dig, or Domain. Every time. It never just opens up and it's just like, wow, look at this shit. Like, it never happens. I never open it up one single time with it like that. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think of the deck so far. Of course, my side deck got erased. That is funny as hell. But this will be continuously worked on until it is perfected. But right now, it is at its most optimal with the build it has right now. This is a really hard deck to beat. It has so many negates. We can spam life points as much as we want. And from here on out, we have taken on Dark World, which comes out in 3 months, I think. Yeah, about 2 or 3 months. The new Dark World structure deck, and actually, I think it's longer than that. I think it's like December on that. Hang on, I want to make sure on that, because this deck ain't gonna be out for a while, and I just kicked its ass. I think my phone's about to die. Dark World structure deck. Let's hit this. I don't remember when it's supposed to come out. Let's see. When's this thing supposed to launch? Boy. December 2nd. So it comes out in 4 months, which is, if you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh!, 4 months is a long time. That is a complete meta shift. A complete meta shift. And we took this Dinomorphia deck versus this Dark World deck and just kicked its ass 2-1. If that tells you anything about the card game, and if you've ever known Dark Worlds before, they're not the easiest deck to beat. They are very hard. They are very consistent. And like you saw there, they do use Allure Darkness and Dark World Dealings to continuously search and draw cards, and then they use cards like Pot of Extrav and Pot of Prosperity to search even more, which is absolutely ridiculous to be able to use cards like that. And then they use stupid cards like Trade In because they have a lot of level 8s, and then they get boosted off that. So by the time you're done drawing cards, you've got everything you need. And that's a very hard Dark World deck to beat because that had Dangers in it. And Dangers, they're okay, but when you mix it with a deck like Dark World that basically does the same fucking thing, it gets a little repetitive and it gets a little out of hand. As you've seen, if I did not have my Walking Skill Drain on, that may have been a different ballgame. For real. Like, those were no joke. The the pace of the game was way higher than I was anticipating. He brought out freaking the Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, and I was sitting there like, oh my god, he's gotten Rex Term twice. He's done it twice. Now I know next time I see it to kind of just put it all the way to the side, because I don't want it to take my monster. So basically the card that he used is this one right here. Oh, apparently it's not going to show up. I think it's all one. I think it's all in one name. There it is. Yeah, it's all one name. So, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. I need to move stuff so I can actually see what I'm doing here. If I can manage to do this without clicking on anything else, that'd be nice. There we go. So, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. It's 4 plus effect monsters. You can also use one monster your opponent controls as material to link summon this card if this card is link summon. Oh, so you couldn't do it anyway because it would just use it. That's kind of fucked. And it has to be ones it points to. It has to. You can also use one monster your opponent controls as link material to link summon this card. No, that has to be a thing that it does. Can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. Which is kind of strange, because even by doing so, oh, that may have okay, so allow me to explain how this would work. Okay, so I had Kentragina and I had Thaurissia on. I know I'm like an hour in, but I'm going to go ahead and explain this anyway. So with Kentragina and Thaurissia on, it would have been fine. You would have negated both of their effects. Now here's the thing. If you negate Kentragina's effects, it goes to 4,000 attack. Allow me to explain. Due to Kentragina's effect, it loses attack equal to my life points. It starts off with 4,000. So if I have 200 life points, it's going to be at 38 like it was in the duel that we described. If it would have chose to activate that effect, which they never did, I don't think they know the card. I think they know it well enough to get into it and not really how to really pop off with it. But if they would have negated Kentragina's effect, it actually would have been at 4,000 attack, which would have been a lot worse on them. And I don't know why they thought that Kentragina was at like a low attack, because I was down to like 200 life points. And I knew if they hit Thaurissia, that I would have been at like, I think 100 or 50. It's probably 100. But I was just to the point to where, you know, how we're going to deal with this, because I'm about fucked. And then they swung into Kentragina. I don't know why, but that was a total misplay on their part, because they could have beat me, but instead they did not. I think they ended up popping Thaurissia or some shit. I can actually go back and watch the duel. So before we end this video, let's go back and watch this thing, because I did save it. At least I think it did. So let's see the interaction here. Yeah, because I had nothing but monsters. This is it. So as you can see, I activate everything accordingly. Everything was the best that I could do with it. You know, he banished my 4. I threw in this dude. This is the chain he builds to get into Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, which does have the effect to negate all monsters on the field. So let's see. There it is. Okay, so here's the situation we're in now. Gets into that. And he's into that one too. Now watch this here. Yeah, that was it. He lost because of time limit. But not only that, but due to this, I would have been able to normal summon Theresia and then get back into my plays. Which is really bad. Because at this point, he's running on gas. He's running on fumes. He's almost out of everything. If I take my draw phase and I pull emergency teleport, he would have been fucked. Or if I pulled the Ghost Ogre, because I would have been able to use Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to flip them all face down and just start just tearing through them. Because Kentragina has enough attack, it would jump straight over Underworld Goddess of Closed World. It would have destroyed it. Theresia would have been able to punch directly after setting Frenzy again. And things would have got really crazy in the situation. Because he did do it right. He did punch straight through Theresia, which was a smart idea. But I think he underestimated the overwhelming attack of Kentragina. Or he was trying to do that to get into a play. I don't think that was the case, since he ended up, 1, running out of time, and 2, looked like he was basically just sitting on E. Like he done some good things, but he didn't have enough gas. I'm not sure why he keeps going into the Harbinger number 38, because I don't play enough spells. I play 8 out of a 40 card deck. That is not a high proportion. But like, if it was trap effects, I could get it. I'm using traps. It's not gonna work. So again, I don't really understand what his play was here. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I wouldn't do this if I were you. Guess for big attack. I mean, I really don't know. You could just use your Dark World cards. They would have been better. And it really doesn't have a great graveyard effect. Yeah, you can choose your attack target, but it doesn't matter when they all have the same attack. That's the problem with facing this deck, is you have to know, like, it's in and outs, it's win cons. Win con is ultimate, is Psychic Kin Punisher. Obviously, you know, I use Anti-Spell Fragrance is a new one that I added to this. The reason I added it is I played Branded, I learned Branded. Actually, I can give you the proportions of the actual Branded deck right here. As you can see, the reason that we run Anti-Spell Fragrance is they run 22 spells. That is a lot. They've run 5 traps, and the 5 traps are due to my Infinite Impermanence. Branded Banishment is a must in every deck, and Blade is a must in every deck. Now, the reason that these are must in every single deck that you've probably ever seen in your life is because Blade, once you banish Tri-Brigade Mercurier, you can use Blade to add it back, or if you banish any of your Fallen of Albaz, your Albion, your Spriggan's Kit, your Mercurier, you know, basically on your Branded in red play, you can add it back. So that's why these cards are in Branded. Now knowing Branded, if Branded Fusion goes off, would I negate it with Solemn Judgment? My answer is no, it's not doing enough. The only way that you would do something like that is if you didn't have a strike set. If you do not have a strike, the only thing on when you Solemn Judgment on is the summon. Now, when you summon a monster, you activate Judgment. you special summon a monster, you can activate Strike. If you normal summon a monster, you can activate Judgment. When you activate a spell or trap, you can activate Judgment. With this being said, you have to know that Solemn Strike hits monster effects and special summons. And Solemn Judgment hits a summon of a monster, a spell, or trap effect. It says specifically, I will read it to you, and this is exactly how the, if you're ever trying to learn this, when a monster would be summoned, or special summon, or a monster effect is activated. So if it is an inherited effect due to Masquerade, you cannot Solemn Strike that because it is an inherited continuous effect that they have. And it does not matter what you try to do, it will not go away. Now, on the other hand, Solemn Judgment. When a monster would be summoned, or a spell or trap is activated, on the activation, not the effect. Pay half your life points, negate the summon or activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Now, specifically, if you're using the effect of a trap that is already face up, continuous trap, you cannot use Solemn Judgment to negate that trap. Specifically, because it is not, nowhere on this does it say effect. Let's make that 100% clear for people that try to use this. Now, this one is the same exact way. When your opponent activates a spell or trap while you control a Dinomorphia monster, it's the same thing. Now, anti-spell is a little bit different, but it's fine. And then like impermanence, you just stop effects, and we all know what Strike does, so I just went over it. So with that being said, those are your big negates in the deck. As you see, there's nothing that stops a spell effect or trap effect. You know, the big thing that does stop spells is anti-spell fragrance. Yeah, I don't need to do it. I only need one turn. If I use anti-spell, first turn, we're locked. We are locked in place. Because I need one turn. If you can't get something out that is worth a fuck, you are screwed. That's basically how that goes. Branded will interrupt this deck quite a bit. But not a lot. So that's what makes Dinomorphia a lot better than most decks like Altergeist. Altergeist are fucking fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. Like if I ran Altergeist today, I would run 3 anti-spell and 3 Sacred Village spellcasters, 1 terraforming. Hands down. Speak specifically because, like Dark World, they all use spells. All of them. They literally use Allure Darkness and their Dark World cards like 1,000 fucking times. I wish this thing had a thing where you could like go and see what deck they were using. And like go and try to like find everything. Because, I mean, it's just freaking insane. Did I really just do that? Oh my god, I got his deck. I didn't know I could do that. Oh my god, that's like groundbreaking technology. I actually have his deck profile. Man, he keeps nothing organized. This is a complete clusterfuck. So, Dark World dealings. So, he's playing Danger Dark World. And this thing is a complete clusterfuck. And this is complete Danger Dark World. Dark World Library. So as you see, 27 monsters, 13 spells, 0 traps. And I mean, he's got a great fucking extra deck. Check this shit out. He's got these guys. He's got Harbinger. He's got the Dark Knight of the Underworld. He's got Buska. He's got Durius, the Timeless. Underworld Goddess Closed World. I don't know about the Nightmare Griffin. I wouldn't use that. Axis Code Talker. Apollosa. Nightmare Unicorn. The News World from the Underworld. IP Masquerena. And Cross Sheep. It's a pretty good fucking deck. Again, this deck is like 4 months away from even being seen on the scene of Yu-Gi-Oh! But if you do want to get a head start on something like Dark World, here's the deck. And I would highly recommend this deck. Personally, because I played against it and I had to fight with it to beat it. I had to go neck and neck with a deck that doesn't let you play in order to beat this. So he was running 3 Allure of Darkness. And everything else was allowing him to draw cards. Like, what was... So, because he's running 2 Dark... Was it 2 Dark World Dealings? Is that all he's got in here? If I was, he might probably boost that up to 3. Yeah, it looks like it's only 2. What was it, this one? Yeah. It says, if a monster whose original type is Fiend is discarded by the effect of a Dark World card or an opponent's card effect, you can discard 1 card and draw 2 cards. So you can only use each effect once per turn. So that's a once per turn effect. It also pops a card, doesn't it? Oh, no. You can just make him gain attack till the end of the turn. I mean, I'll give credit when credit is due. This is a very good deck. Wow. I'm actually going to name this. That way I can tinker around with it. It needs a little bit of work, I'd say. Not a whole lot. Rename, save. The main reason that this does need work is if you look at this deck and you say, well, that's a very good deck. However, it doesn't have any hand traps. And that's a big thing that kind of hurts this deck, I think. Because this deck's running a few too many monsters. A few. If you traded some of those out for like a few hand traps, cross designators, triple talent tactics, lightning storm, some things like that, that would be great because the way this deck floods the way it does, I would try to do that and keep it from having like flooding options. I'll have to read these cards, really get to know them, to actually learn how this works, but I do find this to be a really cool find. So I need to end the video here before I drag this out any longer going through decks, but I did find this very cool to find, and I was really happy to play this guy, whoever he is. Like, that was a very fun deck to play against, and it took nearly everything I had to stop it. So without further ado, I'm Pierce Nation, and I will see you guys in the next video. Pierce Nation out.